East Khasi Hills Deputy Commissioner and Commissioner of Food Safety RM Kurba today held a press briefing in connection with food safety. In her brief, Kurba addressed the reports of formalin detection in fishes. She informed that random testing is being conducted every day and a report will be submitted to the government of Meghalaya for further action. Assistant Commissioner of Food Safety DBS Mukim informed that the numbers of fishes tested containing formalin is alarming. Assistant Food Analyst cum Microbiologist Dr. Wadamika Lingdo shared the dangers of consuming fish laced with formalin. Superintendent of Fisheries East Khasi Hills Hamika Papang shared the process for testing.
As we've seen recently the news about the contamination of various food items, and we would like to make some clarification and educate the public at large and create some kind of awareness so that people will know how to detect if any food item in their household is contaminated, and even not only when they reach at home, they can straight away check right from the time they they buy it from the marketplace. I'd like to discuss about the recent tests that we had conducted across the state, where we had found that a certain number, in fact a huge number of the fishes that we tested contains formalin, and thereafter we had taken the step of closing down the sale of certain imported fish, and for the next 15 days. Okay, number one, we would be whatever fish that come here for the imported fishes will be tested before it's being allowed to be sold in the market. We will be submitting the report. We are the enforcement, and the Deputy Commissioner is the enforcement agency sort of the government. Whatever policy that has to be made will be made by the government. Will be submitting a report, and thereafter it's a policy of the government, how they're going to go about it. Actually, rohu fish are mostly from Andhra, so basically we are looking at rohu, from all rohu fishes coming to the state.
As per the news report which has come out, I think in the last week of April, if I'm not mistaken, random samples of fishes had been taken from the retailers in Yodo, and then that was on the 2nd of May 2023, and then the second time I did was that on the 6th of May, again another raids we did in Yodo along with the presence of the magistrate and police. 3 samples were lifted from the wholesalers from Yodo. It was taken out from the truck. So all these samples were sent accordingly. The samples taken from retailer on the 2nd were sent to lab on the 2nd of May, and the sample taken on the 6th of May were sent to laboratory on the 6th of May itself. And then other officers in other districts also, they have they have also collected their fish samples from the 10th and then 11th and so on and so forth. So we keep on collecting all the samples. Based on the reports which we received from the laboratory on the 8th of June, it is really, the number of sample tested positive is alarming. Out of 42 samples tested, then 30 became positive with the presence of formalin. Then a step has been taken strictly in the interest of public health. There's a prohibition order has been issued on the 8th of June 2023.
As far as the Assistant Commissioner of Food Safety have already explained regarding the collection and the laboratory, as you know, we receive the samples from the enforcement officers, and then immediately testing is done. So all these fishes were collected on random sampling from every district by the enforcement officers, and they are brought to the laboratory in cold chain, because that is as per the Food Safety and Standard Regulation 2011 Act, that all the fishes that need to be analyzed should be brought in cold chain. So after the fish are being brought, immediately we do the testing for all the other parameters, including formalin, and as stated clearly that out of the 42 fishes that have been tested so far in phase 1, testing is still continuing in the laboratory so far. which means reports are yet to be given in the future. But from the 42 fishes that have been tested, as far as formalin parameters is concerned, all the 30 are detected positive. So, as we have already discussed the presence of formalin, formalin, to say that how much is safe, how much is not safe. Let us go to the facts. That is, as per the Food Safety and Standard Regulation 2011, it clearly states that the presence of formalin in any food product, especially fish, is not permitted. And that is a fact. And it is also stated as a human carcinogenic. So the presence of, and also it is also stated that consumption of 30 ml or 37% of this formalin at one go can cause even death in a person, which means that I'm not saying that they're keeping that much amount in a fish, but consumption of fish on a daily basis can lead to accumulation of formalin in your body, which might lead to serious diseases. And in the laboratory, detection of formalin, of course, it's done on qualitative and quantitative basis. We do have a sophisticated instrument which detect the confirmation to formaldehyde, that is the GCMSMS. So the fishes that reach the department are all confirmed for the presence of formalin. And there are more testing that is done right now, as Madam has already mentioned that testing is undergoing. So until we get the full reports, we are yet to conclude that up to how many percentage of these fishes that have been tested is detected of formalin. So far we have collected, as the report stated, 42, out of which 30 has been detected. And we are yet to receive more. We're expecting more than 100. So, because we do it on a phased basis, and these fishes, we are not selective of imported. We do a random sampling, so it can be local, it can be anything. So when the sample reaches the laboratory also, it goes by coding, because that is as per the FSI rule, it goes by coding. So it should be clearly confidential, and there is no partiality in the testing. So based on the coding, if it is detected a formalin, we detect it accordingly.
Actually, regarding the fisheries department, what we used to do is for testing of fish, the fish arrival of fish, I mean the fish coming outside the states. What we used to do, we used to test right from the center from where they collect it. And once they test, they give the certificates also to the concern, I mean to trucks or to whatever vehicles they carry, and they bring along with that certificate. It just happened, and a few days later, we also from the fisheries department we didn't check actually for this. We can say we are sorry, because this is it happened from time to time. Even though we had seen this from the Assam news about the formalin, and then we are doing this formalin testing kit with us. So that's all we from the fisheries. What a sample we had collected so far, we have not yet found till that day when the food safety have checked and have got that. So now we from the fisheries department also with the concern about the consumers of fish coming from the outside the states, and we use we do check even the certificate they have bring along.